3, 2, 1.
This podcast contains content that may be disturbing for some listeners and is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Unusual Curiosity, the podcast where we explore the strange, the forgotten, and the hidden truths lurking in plain sight. I'm Tracy.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Taylor.
Today we're talking about something dark, something most people have no idea happens within our own borders. It's not science fiction. It's not just the subject of horror movies. It's real. This is the body trade.
Ooh.
The unregulated and often unethical industry of buying, selling, and dissecting human body parts right here in the United States.
That's disgusting.
Before modern scandals and scientific research, the trade in human bodies was already a grim reality. In the 18th and 19th centuries, the demand for cadavers from medical schools gave rise to an underground profession.
Okay, I can understand if you want to donate your body to science, totally fine with that. Like, you do you. But I don't want my body, stolen.
This is where they call them body snatching. Body snatchers.
To, grave diggers and stuff?
Organ harvesting.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
couldn't think of harvest. I couldn't think of that word. It took me that whole time to think of that word.
In the UK, men known as the resurrectionists exhumed freshly buried bodies and sold them to anatomy schools. The infamous Burke and Hare murders in Edinburgh, Scotland, pushed the horror further. They killed people to sell their corpses for dissection. These crimes eventually led to the Anatomy Act of 1832, legalizing the donation of unclaimed bodies and reducing grave robbing. In the United States, body snatching was also widespread, particularly targeting the graves of marginalized communities. Schools such as Harvard, Yale, and Jefferson Medical College were all reportedly involved in using illicitly obtained cadavers.
So, the bodies just showed up at these schools and they were like, okay, cool, we got a body to work with. Or were they in on the body snatching?
Could be both. Or, hey, here's some money. We don't care how you get them, but just get them.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hear no evil, see no evil?
Yeah, but it kind of reminds me, wasn't there the Office episode where I don't care, I just need a body? Was it that, or am I completely thinking of a different show? I swear.
Well, Taylor has that show memorized, so look in your files.
I don't remember. Anyway.
It was Office.
Okay, maybe not.
Dude.
This dark past laid the groundwork for today's unregulated trade. Though we no longer raid cemeteries, the question still haunts us. Who owns the dead and who profits from them?
I think a lot of people actually profit from them.
Oh, 100%. 100%. One particularly disturbing case involves a woman who claims that the body of her son ended up in a traveling cadaver exhibition without her knowledge or consent. She was originally told that her son had been cremated following his tragic death, but years later, during a visit to Bodies, the exhibition, she was haunted by an uncanny resemblance of one of the plastinated bodies to her son. Driven by grief and suspicion, she launched her own investigation to raise awareness and seek legal action. Although her claims have not officially been verified, her story has resonated with other families who fear that their loved ones may have been caught in the shadows of the body trade. This underscores a disturbing reality. In a world where cadavers can be sold and displayed like art, the line between memorial and marketplace has become dangerously thin.
Well, I mean, it's no different than when we did the super tall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
It's no different than that when they took his body and put it on display for several decades. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just different times.
Yeah, it's all exploitation.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is, so there's actually more to the story that's not part of this podcast, but the bodies, the exhibition, there's several of them around the world. And actually there's some legal stuff that happened in the state of New York where the state of New York told them that they had to post a sign that said they could not officially promise the origin of those bodies because allegedly they come from China mostly, and there was stories that they were prisoners in China that were being shot and then using their bodies for that. They were selling them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So there's a whole like thing about that exhibit. And Joe Rogan actually he's talked about it on some of his podcasts quite extensively. So seek those out. They're pretty good. So what is body trade? The body trade refers to the commercial trafficking of human cadavers and body parts, primarily for the use in medical training, scientific research, and product development. While the organ transplant system is tightly regulated in the U.S., the trade of non-transplant body parts, such as limbs, torsos, and heads, is not federally regulated.
Dude, heads? Mm-hmm. What do you... I don't even know. I'm not even going to ask.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not go that far down the rabbit hole.
Please, nobody email us telling about what they do with these heads, please.
And this is why I'll never be an organ donor.
Well, that's regulated, but they're talking about, like...
Obviously not if the body trading is a thing.
But, like, we'll talk about it more farther in the podcast. So, yep, in most cases, it's legal to sell or lease human remains for education and training. The problem? There are few rules and almost no oversight. This unregulated market has created a loophole big enough for abuse, fraud, and exploitation.
That's so sad because I guarantee the people that freely donated their bodies, like, you still need to treat that with some respect.
Exactly.
And dignity.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it was still someone's body.
Yeah. I mean, I could see someone seeing the bodies exhibit and going, man, I really would love to do that with my body when I'm gone. Because some people really like that stuff.
Yeah.
There's lots of people that have done that. So more power to you. If you want to do that, good for you. Body brokers, also known as non-transplant tissue banks, often acquire bodies through donation programs. Families are told the remains will help advance science, but in many cases, these bodies are dismembered and sold piece by piece.
That's disgusting.
Market.
Yep. Reuters investigated the industry in their expose, The Body Trade, uncovering brokers who sold heads for over $500, marketed spines for $300, shipped bodies overseas, sometimes in violation of custom laws. Buyers include medical device manufacturers, surgical training companies, colleges, and private labs. And the donors? Often poor, sometimes homeless. Many families don't even realize their loved ones' remains were dismembered and sold.
That's so sad.
Yep. In 2014, the FBI raided a warehouse in Phoenix, Arizona, operated by a body broker named Stephen Gore. What they found was grotesque. Buckets of heads, body parts stacked in freezers, a Frankenstein corpse made from parts of different people.
What?
Yeah.
This is going to be kind of morbid. How do they preserve it? Do you know what I mean?
Freeze it, or formaldehyde, or whatever alcohol there's various ways you can preserve body
disgusting.
parts.
And it lasts that long?
Mummify it. I don't know.
Wow.
People are sick.
Yeah, but get this. So Gore was convicted of fraud, but received just probation.
What?
For people's bodies?
Yeah, because it's not regulated.
Oh my goodness
Well,
gracious.
it fucking should be.
Right? In another disturbing case, Arthur Rathburn of Detroit stored and sold body parts infected with HIV and hepatitis, endangering the lives of medical professionals.
Dude, my jaw is
That's
literally
disgusting.
Right?
fallen.
It's mind-bending to listen to this stuff. More recently, in 2023, Cedric Lodge, a former Harvard Medical School morgue manager, was charged with stealing and selling body parts from cadavers meant for research. The scandal triggered lawsuits and public outcry.
So was he just stealing them and selling them?
He was probably taking them in because he was the manager. He was probably taking in the cadavers and either parceling the bodies out, not even registering that he had received them, or when they were done with them, he was selling them, right? Like, instead of... I don't know how they dispose of cadavers, to be honest. Like, after they're
Same.
done with medical school training, I would hope that it's done with dignity.
Yeah, like cremated or buried.
Right. Like, they're still human. They're still people. They deserve respect.
That's actually a good question that just popped up in my mind. So, say that someone does donate their body to as like a cadaver, and the school's finished with them. Do they get cremated and then the remains go back to the family?
I don't know. I would assume no, because the cadaver is nameless. Like when they're received by the school, they don't have an identity because they don't want them to be identifiable to the people that are working on them.
That makes sense.
It does. Yeah, I mean, I guess it does, but to me that seems a little impersonable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're not doing it like you don't have to worry about bedside manner when you're cutting up a
Yeah.
cadaver.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, you're specifically learning about anatomy.
Yeah,
You know,
you're right. Yeah, that's a good point.
No thanks.
right? Unlike organs for transplant, non-transplant body parts fall into a legal gray zone. There's no federal law governing the trade. A few states like Colorado and Arizona have passed laws in response to scandals, but there's no national oversight. This means anyone with a few freezers and a business license can open a body brokerage.
And have it be legal?
Yep.
Ooh.
A body brokerage.
Yep.
Where are we selling real estate over here?
Selling bodies like they're real estate.
That's a good slogan. Maybe we should start one.
You got room for a couple of freezers, so. Not in my house.
No.
Meanwhile, grieving families are misled and cadavers are treated like commodity goods. This isn't just a fringe issue. It touches on ethics, legality, and how we honor the dead. Some medical professionals argue that body donation is critical for training and innovation. I don't disagree with that. But regulation, the entire industry is susceptible to abuse. What can you do? If considering a body donation, research the organization thoroughly. Ask if they are accredited by the American Association of Tissue Banks. Demand transparency about where the remains are going. The dead can't speak, but their families and the public can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you get to the black market?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
Not a
I don't
criminal.
either. Like, do you just search up black market on the freaking internet?
I'm sure it's kind of like
I feel like
who
that would
you
flag
know.
you.
It's like who you know, right? So
Yeah.
you know somebody that just kind of you get to know and they drag you into that lifestyle.
No thanks. I'm good.
Yeah.
I love my dogs too much.
I have too much respect for people. I may not always like people, but I would never do that to somebody.
No, not at all.
Definitely not cutting up your dead body, like for non-medical purposes, right? Or
Yeah.
learning to be a doctor. No.
That's just sick.
Yeah.
Imagine how traumatic that is to the family, though. Like that one lady
They don't
that
even know. Like they think something else.
Gosh. Kind of like that one lady that had her, possibly son's body in the bodies museum.
That's so sad.
It is, and how traumatizing.
Yeah. So, allegedly, like I couldn't really find factual information on that story, so I just touched on it. But there are images and things out there, and if I would say if it's true, and I saw the images, and it looks like her son. Like if you see pictures of him when he's alive, and then you see the body, it looks like him because, as I said earlier, most all those bodies come from China. And when you look at them without their skin on and as they're plastinated, they look Asian. And they look like individuals.
Wait, there's no skin on these bodies?
No.
How does she know it's him then? How did she know?
Because you still have like features. So there was a scar that he had like deep in his chest wall, I think. And then there was a couple other
Didn't he have like
things.
a
mole.
I was gonna say
was on
his
this?
head.
Yeah, the injury that actually caused his death
Yeah.
to his head was evident.
Blunt force trauma. That's what
Yeah.
I was trying to say.
And it lined up everything perfectly with her son.
How did she? Was she just looking at it and said, "Yeah, that's my son"?
Yeah, she went there just to see it and then ran across this body and she was like, that's my son. I feel like I would know my child.
I
Yeah.
sure hope so.
Like you have that
I mean,
maternal
even
instinct.
if you didn't have hair and skin and all that stuff, I feel like I would know.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. If that story is true, I deeply feel for that family. That's horrendous.
Yeah.
And I don't know the story behind it. I would love to know more about that story.
Please reach out to us. An unusual curiosity for you.
That's unusually
gmail.com.
curiosity. Number 4, letter U at gmail.com.
Let us know.
How'd we do?
Perfect. I love it.
No, I'm just kidding. Cut that.
We often think of the body as sacred, something that should be honored in life and death. But in the shadows, the body can become currency. The body trade isn't just about medicine, it's about humanity, ethics, and accountability. Thanks for joining us on this disturbing yet important journey. Until next time, stay curious and stay aware. Like this episode? Give us a like, rate us, share this podcast, or leave a comment on YouTube, or email us at
Email us at unusualcuriosity for you at gmail.com. That's unusual curiosity, number 4, letter U at gmail.com.
Bye.